So in today's video, I'm going to run through the 5 daily habits that made me a multi-millionaire by the age of 21. And if you implement all 5 of these into your life, I know that you are going to achieve incredible things. So the first daily habit was setting daily challenges to speak to new people. And here's what I mean. When I was 14 or 15 and I was either taking the public bus or the tube to school, I would actually set a challenge to myself to give a compliment every single day to just one stranger. Now, the next daily habit that made me a multi-millionaire by 21 was constantly choosing the right vehicle for where I was in life based on my skill set and also my appetite. And here's really what I mean by this. I'd say probably the reason that I am where I am today is because I didn't skip the process. I didn't go from here and want to end up here without going through all of these mini checkpoints. Now, the next daily habit that made me a multi-millionaire by 21 is creating rather than consuming. You know, for example, I've always never been the biggest fan of watching football because rather than watching it, I'd rather just go play it. I don't know, for me, rather than scrolling through TikTok or YouTube, I would rather just create content myself. So whatever it is in life, rather than consuming, you must create. And I also viewed that when it came to business. You know, I was always very cognizant and very aware of what things was I using in my life that was bringing me value and I was paying for every month or every quarter or every half a year. And how could I eventually get to a point where rather than consuming that thing, I was actually creating it and I was profiting from it. So whatever area of your life that it may be, you always need to focus on how can you create rather than consume. Now, the next daily habit that made me a multi-millionaire by the age of 21 is I never put people on a pedestal. You may be watching this and you're like, I can never get to Iman's level. Okay, cool. Well, then go watch videos of me when I was 16 years old with acne on my face, with nothing going for me, no resources, nothing in my corner, no ammunition, no firepower, except for discipline and a belief in a future vision. And if you have those two things, then you are going to make it. As long as you stop looking at this like, maybe I can get rich by the summer, or hey, maybe, you know, if I try this for 90 days, you know, it might work out. Rather than looking like that, instead, you need to look in 5-year, 10-year terms. And if you can do that, if you can commit to being better day by day for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, then you're going to be so far ahead of the competition because most people are simply not patient enough. So understand, when you watch my videos, we're the same. All it is confidence comes from competence. When you are competent at something, when you know you're good at something because you've done it for so long, then of course you're going to be confident. Of course, I sit down at my desk, I walk through life, I do all these things because I have been through the ringer. But in order to get to this position, you have to put one foot forward in front of the other. And you're not going to be able to do that if you think that there's some intrinsic thing that's different from me compared to you, or maybe another person you look up to compared to you. Now, last daily habit that made me a multi-millionaire by the age of 21 is thinking in second order consequences. Now, when I was younger, I played a lot of chess. As I said, I was very introverted. So I would play a lot of chess, and I was actually in school, I was part of my chess club. Now, when you're playing chess, you're always thinking of 6th or 7th order consequences. You're thinking about, if I do this, then what will happen? You're constantly thinking about the ripple effect of your next move, not in 1 move or 2 moves, but 5 moves ahead. And I carried that through for the rest of my life because I always thought in second order consequences. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you take heed of these lessons. I hope you implement these lessons. And just remember, as always, I'm watching from afar and I'm rooting for you.